Golden autumn sunlight bathed the quiet suburban streets of a small American town, illuminating the messy bedroom where a bright teenager named Ryan dreamed of his future. Staring intently at the detailed anatomical posters plastered across his bedroom walls, Ryan harbored a burning ambition to become a life-saving doctor. His natural intelligence was a powerful, roaring engine that effortlessly processed complex textbooks and intricate scientific theories. Yet a dark, invisible cloud hovered over his bright potential, because Ryan possessed a chaotic mind that he simply could not control. Every time he sat at his scarred wooden desk to study, a restless, buzzing energy would immediately hijack his fragile concentration. His gaze would inevitably drift away from the crisp, white pages of his biology book toward the glowing, hypnotic screen of his smartphone. Precious hours melted away into a digital void as he scrolled mindlessly through Facebook, YouTube, and endlessly colorful social media feeds. When he wasn't lost in the digital glow, his vivid imagination pulled his mind into elaborate, cinematic daydreams far away from his real responsibilities. He confidently waved away his mounting deadlines, whispering to his reflection that because he was so smart, there was plenty of time to study later. But the harsh, sinking reality of the setting sun constantly proved that this promised later was a phantom that never truly arrived. His weary parents stood in his bedroom doorway, their voices heavy with genuine concern as they pleaded with him to anchor his drifting focus. Dedicated teachers pulled him aside in the echoing school hallways, sternly warning him that studying with full focus was absolutely essential. Arrogance clouded his judgment, convincing him that sheer intellect was a magical shield guaranteeing ultimate success without the pain of hard work. The crisp winter air bit at his cheeks on the fateful morning the highly anticipated school scholarship exam results were finally posted. He had secretly prayed to the stars the night before, desperate for the financial freedom to make his demanding journey to medical school a little easier. His heart hammered rapidly against his ribs as his eager eyes scanned the white sheets of paper pinned to the crowded school bulletin board. A sickening wave of dread crashed over him when he finally found his name, discovering a dismal score that shattered his grandest hopes. His heart broke completely because he had failed spectacularly, leaving his beautiful dream of walking the sterile halls of a hospital crumbling into invisible dust. All around him, less naturally gifted friends who had diligently studied every single night erupted into joyous cheers over their excellent grades. The very same teachers who had once proudly praised his brilliant essays now offered him nothing but silent, deeply disappointed stares. That evening, Ryan sat completely alone in the creeping shadows of his quiet bedroom, the silence amplifying the burning shame heavy in his chest. Staring at his tear-streaked reflection in the dark window pane, the bitter truth finally pierced his fragile armor of arrogance. He acknowledged that he lacked absolutely no intelligence, but he had foolishly and tragically wasted his most precious time. A powerful epiphany washed over him, illuminating the undeniable fact that being smart is never enough, and without discipline, no success will ever come. Wiping away his tears, a roaring new fire ignited within his soul as he made an unbreakable, desperate vow to radically change himself. He desperately needed a mentor, someone who could not only teach subjects but also help a struggling student build ironclad discipline and self-control. His desperate search led him to the echoing school gymnasium, the domain of a highly experienced physical education teacher named Coach Miller. Coach Miller was a towering oak of a man, known across the entire town for forging unbreakable mental fortitude in the most unfocused boys. Ryan approached the coach beneath the harsh fluorescent lights, his voice trembling slightly as he bared his soul about his daily academic struggles. He described the agonizing sensation of his mind frantically jumping from one shiny distraction to another the absolute second he tried to study. Coach Miller paused, his whistle whirling, his weathered face softening into a gentle, knowing smile as he listened to the desperate boy. The older man softly explained that controlling the human mind is a monumental battle, and invited Ryan to follow him outside to see a demonstration. Motioning for the boy to follow, the coach led him out of the suffocating gymnasium and into the bright, sun-drenched school playground. From the dusty depths of the outdoor sports equipment room, the coach retrieved a brightly painted toy bow and a single, feather-tipped arrow. He carefully positioned a circular wooden target board at the far end of the lush, perfectly manicured green athletic field. Handing the weapon over, the coach challenged the boy to hit the absolute center of the board to prove the true, unfiltered state of his focus. Ryan pulled the tightly wound string back to his cheek, his eyes darting nervously across the vast, beautiful expanse of the open field. He released the trembling string with a loud snap, watching helplessly as the arrow sailed wildly through the air and missed the target completely. Crossing his muscular arms, the coach stepped forward and calmly demanded to know exactly what the boy had been looking at when he shot the arrow. Confused, Ryan eagerly described the swaying surrounding trees, the endless green field, and the wooden board standing in the distance. The coach slowly shook his graying head, a profound sadness in his eyes, as he revealed that looking at everything at the exact same time was his real problem. He pointed a firm finger at Ryan's chest, explaining that a master athlete narrows his entire universe down until nothing exists except the target. He drew a sharp, painful parallel to Ryan's chaotic life, painting a picture of a mind constantly overloaded by phones, social media, and YouTube videos. If he truly desired to conquer his future, he had to train his eyes to become completely blind to everything except his ultimate goal during study time. The profound weight of the lesson slammed into Ryan's chest, leaving him breathless and practically begging for the concrete steps to begin his transformation. The wind rustled through the autumn leaves as Coach Miller raised a single finger, outlining four simple, sacred rules of unyielding discipline. The first rule demanded absolute vigilance to control his thoughts, forcing him to forcefully remind himself to focus whenever his mind drifted away to another direction. The second rule required the construction of an ironclad daily routine, strictly dictating the exact moments for deep study and earned rest. By establishing this uncompromising schedule, his chaotic, restless brain would slowly but surely start to follow the comforting rhythm of the routine. The third rule was ruthless elimination, demanding the merciless banishment of his phone, television, and useless digital apps that constantly stole his precious time. The final rule was relentless daily practice, a sobering reminder that massive mental discipline is built through constructing small habits every single day. Ryan etched every single syllable of the coach's wisdom into his soul, leaving the sunlit field with a terrifying, beautiful sense of immense purpose. That very night, beneath the warm, focused glow of his desk lamp, he drafted a strict, minute-by-minute schedule and pinned it securely to his wall. He took a deep, steadying breath, powered down his beloved smartphone, and shoved it far away into a drawer to eliminate all glowing distractions. The first week was pure, unadulterated agony, and every time his mind wandered, he forcefully reminded himself that his ultimate goal was to become a doctor. The agonizing, rhythmic tick of the wall clocks slowly faded into the background as he forced his eyes to devour the complex, dizzying medical diagrams. Slowly, miraculously, the turbulent storm within his mind began to settle, and his focus improved into a deep, calm ocean of unbreakable concentration. Weeks bled seamlessly into months, and the restless boy was now confidently diving into hours of uninterrupted, deep study without getting distracted. The ultimate test arrived a few months later, as another highly anticipated and incredibly important academic exam finally loomed over him. Ryan walked into the freezing, cavernous examination hall with the quiet, deadly confidence of a perfectly honed, meticulously sharpened weapon. When the spectacular results were finally announced to the breathless school, Ryan had not merely survived the brutal test, he had utterly conquered it and come in first place. Looking at the golden, life-changing grade, he knew with absolute certainty that this victory wasn't born from mere luck or talent, but was the direct result of his iron discipline. About a year later, brilliant stage lights blinded him as he walked across the grand auditorium to accept a highly prestigious, dream-fulfilling medical scholarship. As the thunderous, deafening applause washed over him, he closed his eyes and vividly remembered the profound metaphor Coach Miller had shared with him. The human mind is exactly like a beautiful, terrifyingly wild horse galloping through an open, untamed plain. If you passively surrender the reins, that unpredictable beast will violently drag you through the mud to wherever its chaotic whims desire. But if you possess the courage to train it with relentless discipline, that same powerful creature will effortlessly take you directly to your greatest destination. From that glorious night forward, Ryan faced every insurmountable challenge, armed with the single, unbreakable principle of training his mind with discipline. The boy who had once been paralyzed by his own boundless potential was now a master of his own fate. Knowing absolute success would inevitably follow him. If this cinematic tale of transformation has sparked a burning fire within your own wandering soul, please like and proudly share this video with the world. Do not let that precious ember fade into the dark. Bravely subscribe to our channel to stay with us on this incredible, ongoing journey of mental mastery. I will be back again very soon with another deeply inspiring story to illuminate your path through the darkest, most challenging storms. Until that brilliant moment arrives, hold fast to your patience, be deeply thankful for your journey, and keep moving relentlessly, unapologetically forward.